Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in the world of criminals who operate above the law.
Welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the GCRN and Audible.com. I am one of your hosts, TFJ Mike, and joining me is Dion the Pizza Man.
Hi, would you like pizza? Wings, possibly?
No. I never understood a pizza place having wings. I don't get
Pizza Hut was like the first place I ever heard of doing that, and then we have a local restaurant here called Waldo's Pizza, and they have wings, and I'm like, okay. And then Domino's started doing it. I'm like,
yeah, makes no sense.
Eh.
Makes no sense at all.
No.
So, today we're going to be going beyond the night and reviewing 3 more episodes of Knight Rider Classic Season 3. We are at episode 21. By the time we hit, I think it's episode 29 or 30, the series is almost over.
Yeah, just about.
It's been an interesting journey.
It
so,
has.
KITT, hit the turbo boost.
KITT! Michael, help!
This one's on me.
The next one is on me.
I shall have to recommend he be reclassified for light duty.
KITT is the world's greatest automobile.
He cannot be trusted under pressure.
What happened? Let's do
it! First up is Junkyard Dog. Michael vows to nail the owner of a toxic waste dump when KITT is nearly destroyed in an acid pit.
This episode, if you are a child and you're watching it, will make you cry.
It's just like when Optimus Prime died.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Because I think, and I think this happens in the DVD cut and on Netflix as well. They cut back when it was on TV. They cut, like, the commercial break comes right after Michael says, I'm sorry, we'll come back for you, and you've got KITT sinking lower and lower and lower, and you've got William Daniels' voice going out, and that's where the commercial.
That's where the commercial comes in.
Right, that's where the commercial comes in. So they basically led all kids to believe that KITT, in all intents and purposes, is dead, and that's not cool.
No, I felt so bad. It was just,
I love this episode. It. Again, like we say, if you really pick it apart, it's just an average crime boss, toxic, call the Planeteers, let's get Captain Planet in on this, and but it's because of what happens to KITT that makes this episode so much better than just a generic episode, because there's that whole scene where after he's in the repair bay and they're working on him and they're getting the original team back, which I'm surprised the original team didn't have someone named was it named from 2008 series? Was it Charles or something?
Yeah.
That would have been interesting if they had actually, like, to really tie the original series to 2008 series, if the same guy was, anyway. the same character, not necessarily
Right.
the same actor.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I love this episode. I love Michael's whole reminiscing thing about blasting through walls and turbo boosting and everything else, and I mean, this episode is awesome.
Bonnie seems to have, in this particular episode, Michael says, Bonnie, it takes something like this to really make you appreciate what you have, and you wish you hadn't taken it for granted. I've forgotten how good you really are.
Yeah.
And she takes the compliment, but at the same time, it's almost like she's being sarcastic about it. Like, you just now noticed that? You just now noticed that? And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Bonnie, that really that's a slap in the face, because he's trying to say, look, I know that we've had our differences, but I'm telling you, you're really good at what you do.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this episode overall was just absolutely amazing. It just was. And you see them testing, you see them rebuilding KITT, and for those of you who listen to this show, might not listen to the flagship GCRN podcast called Geekcast Radio. Last year, Dion and I did a Michael Jackson artist spotlight episode, and this episode proves that it really does matter if you're black or white.
Oh no. I remember that. I remember that. I just thought of that as soon as you said that.
Well, because when KITT gets repaired,
he's a different color.
That first test run, he's white.
Yes.
And when Michael says, no, we're going back to Bay 3, we're going to fix you, you're going to be better, and we're going to come back out here and we're going to do this course right. And then at the end of the whole, not training montage, but the whole repair montage, he's spray painting the car black. So, once you go black, you never go back.
Ah, God. Ah. Good night, everybody. I do remember that, though, because, I remember that he was white. And then they go, like you said, they go back and they put the MBS on him.
Yeah.
And he's the black Trans Am that everybody knows him as. So, yeah. That's just funny. I completely forgot about that comparison.
On that note, let's
move on, okay?
Yeah, let's head over to the scanners.
Michael, help me! Michael, help me! Michael, help me! KITT! Michael! I can't, buddy. I can't. Michael! Call Buyout. We gotta break in. And shut those dogs loose!
They're coming. We gotta get going.
I'll be back. Michael! I'll be back.
Come on. Come on.
I'll be back.
Alright, so let's turn these scanners on. Even though this is a very sad episode, I still love it because it shows the friendship between Michael and KITT. And Bonnie to a lesser extent, but
this was more of a Michael and KITT episode. It was kind of...
Well, yeah, but there is that whole scene of Michael just having that defeatist attitude, and she just getting in his face saying, "Well, he's not finished yet. You haven't given me the chance to finish working on him," and blah 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 blah.
Right.
So,
but it's kind of like a partner losing a partner. It's and when I say that, it's a human losing a car as a partner, because Michael and KITT were bonded, even though KITT was a computerized vehicle. It's kind of like having another partner. It's just not human. It's not a human partner. It's not like Michael Long again losing partners. This time the partner is supposed to be indestructible, except in this episode where he is nearly destroyed. They have to rebuild him again. And they have to rescue him.
Yep.
And Michael is just basically saying, look, how long is it going to take to repair him this time?
Yeah, it's and I do love all the different. They're not really quips, but just all the different lines and how awkward KITT is. I do really enjoy that because you have to take this situation where it's like this car fell in a pit of it. Well, he didn't fall; he got pushed into a pit of acid. So, of course, they treated this episode. They almost treated KITT as if he was human,
right,
versus just another computer inside a car or whatever else. And I really did like that about it.
What about you? I like the fact that this is more kind of a human sentimental touch, and they did an excellent job with this one. Yes. And it's not, thank God it's not a double plot. I actually got sick and tired of looking at those. But this is more of a human sentimental value. And it was more of a, even though KITT was rebuilt and he got better the second time around, it was more like, you could see him on the test track the first time. And, Michael's like, no, he should be going at least 60 or more, at least 100 through this course, and he's not even doing that.
Yeah.
He's maybe doing 60.
Yeah.
And he should be doing more than that. And, Bonnie's like, well, maybe it's the software, and, maybe if I do this or do that. And then you see one of the original team saying, he's in layman's terms, he's lost his nerve. And, then you see one of the teams saying, well, I shall have to recommend he be reclassified for light duty. And, you see Michael's like, oh, no, not if I can help it, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's trying to save KITT. He's trying to say, look, there is still a reason for this vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm glad that this was not just one of those typical episodes you watch, there's a plot, there's villains, you can pick the story apart, and everybody goes home after the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say I almost thought that they were going to have Buyout lose a toe or something when his little machine there fell into the acid pit at the end. I was hoping they would make him lose a toe or something, or lose a foot or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I love this episode. Very, very awesome episode. So
good job.
We'll be back with Scanners Off in a moment.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Please.
Dr. Von Foreman, Dr. Yamada, I'm so glad you're here.
We came as quickly as we could.
Let me fill you in on some of the things we've done already.
Up 5 points, please.
Bob, this is Dr. Breland. I'd like you to help him out any way you can. Maybe start with showing him your end of the problem.
How's it coming?
It's coming. How, we won't know for a while yet. Why don't you go home and get some sleep?
Well, if there isn't anything I can do.
There isn't.
Be honest, I could use an hour or two.
Good. I was looking for a polite way to kick you out of here.
You know, Bonnie, it's funny.
What?
Sometimes it takes something like this to make you realize how much you take people for granted. I'd forgotten how good you really are.
Thank you.
All right, let's turn these scanners off. I don't have much. I just have two things. The bunny! The truck killed the bunny! At the very beginning when the acid is being poured over.
Yes. I had that same note.
Yeah. We've seen Knight Rider episodes where Michael will test fences, and most of the time they are electrified.
Right.
And he would have KITT deactivate them, or he would have KITT crash through them. Obviously, in this one, you couldn't really have KITT crashing through a fence at the very beginning of the scene when Michael is trying to sneak into the office. But why didn't Michael test that fence? Because he jumps it. He jumps the fence. It's not electrified. Yet, when KITT crashes through it, it explodes like it was electrified. It has that electrified effect when KITT...
I wondered that same thing too.
Yeah, that was a little weird to me.
Yeah. Maybe they just got tired of using that same plot. You know, or not that same plot, but that same instance of, you know, hey, KITT, deactivate this electrified fence.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's really all I have. The rest of the episode is solid.
It's great, yeah. No problem.
All right, we are going to move on.
What are you doing here? Looking for proof that what happened to that limousine wasn't an accident. Analyze the composition of this armor plate.
We buy one grade of armor plate.
Well, someone ordered a different grade. We gotta find out who.
He's a cold-blooded killer, Michael.
You promised these people a demonstration.
Oh, I can handle that.
Up next is Buyout. To catch a saboteur, Michael volunteers to drive an armor-plated limousine during a company's missile defense demonstration. I kind of like this one. It's kind of cool, but I could have sworn... Well, I guess now going back, because I just, right before we started recording this episode, I just watched this one, so it's fresh in my mind. I understand now why they didn't use KITT, because obviously Michael has to test the car, the limousine, the plating. But I was thinking the whole episode, I'm thinking, why don't they just use KITT to flush the criminal couple out? I just didn't. At first,
didn't make any sense when I watched it.
Yeah, it really didn't, but it was enjoyable. I liked it. It wasn't like, oh my, there weren't really any moments where it was like, oh my god, this plot is horrible. I mean, it was an average.
It wasn't boring.
No, it wasn't boring, but it wasn't, it wasn't boring, but it wasn't like, oh my god, it's the best thing. This is no Scent of Roses, but at the same time, it's no Mickey. So, any other thoughts on the plot?
I had the same thing you have. It's not a boring episode. It's not a great episode, but it's one you can watch. It is a good one to see. It's in Scanners On. There's a funny moment I'm going to bring up, and I think it's cute.
All right. Well, let's get there then. All right. So. Let's turn the scanners on. Well, that was an interesting way to begin the episode, and very explosive, too.
Yeah.
Because the car go boom.
Yeah, the car go boom. Eddie trying to talk to a car to buy him.
Yes. And the end result of that, not necessarily the end result, but the continuing result in that is basically... I hate to say this, but KITT's basically being a girl.
Yeah, actually.
No, seriously, listen.
Yeah. You're right.
KITT's being a girl, and Michael is trying to be the macho husband, and he's like, "Not now, KITT, not now. I can't pay attention to you right now. No, those shoes don't make you look fat." You know, it has that.
Yeah, it does. But you're absolutely right. I have to agree.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, the scenarios that KITT comes up with, no way in hell, like, what was one of them? One of them was the if we're trapped in
the bowels of the earth,
right? Or if we're trapped at the center of the earth, or if we're trapped in a volcano. One of them was if we're trapped in a desert and you have no water or food, Michael. And I'm thinking that fucking happened. No, it happened.
Oh, Goliath.
They were trapped in the desert in Goliath.
Goliath Returns.
Yeah.
Or no.
Yeah, no, it was Goliath. It was the first one.
It was, yeah, but I'm saying it wasn't Goliath. It wasn't Goliath Returns. It was the first Goliath. But you're right. Yeah, it was when he was in the desert. Yeah, and he had to make a jet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy this one, even though it's your standard plot. I really did enjoy it. I thought it was great. I thought that the whole thing with Eddie was really, really funny.
That was funny. That actually made it comical.
What about you? What'd you like about this one?
I actually liked the fact that, again, we kind of get to see KITT star, for himself. And then just as Eddie gets to, what would you say to KITT? Are you there? It's like Eddie gets just about there, tempting the bait, in front of KITT, in the matter of speaking. And, Michael cuts Eddie off, and KITT's like, I'm coming, Michael. I'm right there. I'll be there. And it's like, it's almost like you're saying, oh, thank God. So, yeah. Good things there. Good things.
That's so funny. So funny. Anything else you want to talk about for highlights?
The fact that you kind of get to see Eugene Hansen at the I think it was a machine gun thingy near the end. It was near the end of the episode where they scanned him on the test track, and yeah, and I don't know, was it a machine gun?
I think so, yeah.
And KITT's like, those are armor-piercing grenades, and I'm like, oh my. And then KITT's like, I don't like surprises, Michael. So kind of a, oh my God, So yeah, it was all overall, it was a good episode. Like you said, nothing really bad about it.
Nope, not at all. So we'll be back with the scanners off in a second. Let's turn the scanners off. Like I said, the only thing I wrote down for this part is inside jobs, scams, scoundrels, and schemes. I feel like I'm watching an episode of American Greed. Because honestly, if you took Michael and KITT out of it, you took the foundation completely out of this episode, this would be an episode of American Greed, where the guy is embezzling money, the girl is like, well, unless you do this, unless you get rid of these people, I'm gone, blah,
I'm gone in so many hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's just... It's an episode of American Greed with Knight Rider in it. It's what it is.
I didn't like the scene of Eugene trying to buy out Mel and then threatening her child, even though you don't see her child.
Yeah, that was
I wrote that down, and I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was low crossing the line.
Yeah.
So, before we move on, I forgot to mention in the Scanners On clip, I liked the very end. Michael has a nice hat, He's like, some silver bars. You'll be going to jail now. I was almost hoping he would have like pulled a Monopoly reference. Do not pass go. Do not collect.
Yes.
That would have been cool.
What I liked too, and I also should have mentioned this, was it goes with what you were just saying, but she's trying to basically bribe them both not to take her to jail, and you hear KITT say, "I find that offer unacceptable. I'd rather the drive through the park."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So that, like I said, that goes with what you were saying. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was actually quite funny. And then the last question of, Michael, and KITT says Michael, and Michael goes yes, and then KITT says, "That offer she made. Does she know that I'm air conditioned?" So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. All right, we're gonna move on.
KITT, get in here! Gonna have to drop!
This thing is revolutionary. You could tap a phone or a computer bank without a trace.
That circuit you just opened, it's a time bomb.
Open the trunk.
3 seconds, Michael.
He's as elusive as you are. Then get rid of him.
You killed my husband.
Over there with bombs. It's soldiers, Michael.
You take care of him. I'm getting caught.
Michael, I have no traction.
And finally up today is Knightlines, an international criminal, played by Frank Amnese, rigs the government's space weapon headquarters to blow up after construction is completed. Okay, why? I don't know. That one... this one was interesting. There are a lot of funny, strange moments with the kid that's in it.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, Billy. But the basic plot just kind of...
It just kind of dropped. I mean, you can watch it. It's tolerable. Yeah. And it's one of these ones that are tolerable. You don't need to pick up the remote and change it, but it's kind of like, for what reason am I watching this?
Yeah, exactly.
Only to say that, okay, I'm glad that KITT and Michael are in this.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I said, there are things about, not necessarily about the plot, but there are things about the episode that are enjoyable.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not necessarily where it's like, for me, it's not where, oh my God, this is wrong, this is it. I honestly didn't write anything down in Scanners Off because
I didn't either.
It's just one of those episodes that, oh, it's there. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And while I like certain parts of it, the overall plot is just dumb.
Yeah.
So,
kind of. Right. I think that's all we really need to say on that.
Yeah. So let's get to the scanners. All right, let's turn these scanners on. That little device packs a punch. We'll never get the smell out of the upholstery now. I like that. I like that line from KITT, but I'm sorry. If that device was that powerful, that semi would have, like, I know KITT is super powerful, don't get me wrong, but like
nobody would have survived.
Well, no, it's not that.
No.
The semi itself, the actual truck, would have shook more than it did.
Yeah, you're right.
I can completely suspend my disbelief on the fact that KITT is this, supercar, can pretty much withstand anything, etc., etc., etc. But the aftershock of that explosion, even in his trunk, would have rocked the back of the semi more than what it actually did.
Yeah.
It would have.
You're right.
Should have.
Why and they should have actually made it do just that,
Yeah. I like at the end when Billy gives KITT a can of motor oil. That's nice. Really weird, but nice. Michael says. What'd you like about this one?
I did like the fact that, the end scene was kind of really cute. I did like the scenes with Billy. What I also like is the first scene where you see Billy sneaking up around KITT, and KITT's like, "Young man, what are you doing?" And he's like, I'm cutting class. Which class? History. What a joke. And, you know, they're exchanging words back and forth. And then you see KITT open the door, and he's like, no way. And then KITT's like, what's the matter? Chicken?
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. Thought that was neat. And I actually liked this second scene, and it actually had, I liked another scene, and it wasn't anything to do with Billy, but it had to do with Janet putting together the fact that you know, her husband was basically killed.
Yeah.
And Michael's trying to tell her, don't do this. You know, let the law handle this. And she wanted to do it herself, basically.
Yeah.
That was a pretty tense scene, but I liked it because, you know, there was some emotion there, so it wasn't completely dry.
Yeah, no, it was very, very awesome. Very, very, very cool. All right, so what about Scanners Off? I mean, like I said,
there's not really much here to say.
I mean, you know, even when because I had to watch this one twice because the first time around I just wasn't feeling any, like I didn't find anything to actually analyze about it. But other than the fact that the general plot of someone destroying the government space program or whatever it is, that's really what the problem is here. I other than that, I don't really see any issues because the rest of the episode is fine.
Yeah.
So. All right, we are going to go to a quick ad break, and then we're going to come back to close the show after this.
Coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan on September 21st and 22nd is GrandCon Gaming and Comics Convention, presented by Celebration Cinemas. Join us in playing or chatting it up with fellow enthusiasts in a community that understands your passions. Get lost in the adventure of your favorite role-playing game. Admire costumes and art from vendors and attendees. Meet the creators behind your favorite mainstream and independent games and comic books. Check out unpublished games and sneak peek at things to come. You can get all this and more at GrandCon. For more information, please visit www.grand-con.com.
The Pull Bag is the GCRN's place for everything you need in the comic book world. We focus on new and current comics. We're also tackling a few back issues here and there. So join the entire GCRN crew and see what issues the hosts have with today's panels. You can find the Pull Bag on iTunes and geekcastradio.com. Make your great escape into comics.
Hey, pal, it's me, Michael.
Hello, Michael.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Ready for a couple of 180s, maybe a couple 90s, a little crash through a wall, huh? I'm just kidding here. KITT?
I guess my human mode needs a little more work. Where's Bonnie? Did Bonnie leave?
No. She's right outside. As a matter of fact, she says you are doing great. You're going to be as good as new in no time at all. KITT?
Yes.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yes, Michael.
Well, I just wanted to come in here and see how you're doing, pal. There's a lot of people out there who are really anxious to get back in here and finish you. So, I'll see you later, huh?
Goodbye, Michael.
Bye, buddy.
Well?
It's not him.
What do you mean it's not him? Of course it's him. It's KITT.
Is, but it isn't. I don't know, Bonnie. Something's wrong.
Well, of course there's something wrong. You saw what happened to him. I don't know what you expect of me.
Bonnie, I'm not criticizing you. It's just that KITT
KITT has not been finished yet. He needs more work. don't know what you expect from him. Jokes and pratfalls?
So we are back. Why don't you tell people about your other stuff that you're involved with?
Well, the other stuff I'm involved with, because I also give Geekcast Radio a plug anyway over there, because it's so much appreciated.
Wait a second. Hold the fucking phone.
What?
You act. I don't say thank you to you for doing that. You act like
no.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm not saying that as if to say that I expect you to say that. I'm saying that if people want to check us out, you know, if they want to hear a podcast, I plug our website over here. So it's not like oh my.
Just keep going.
I like that about him. I can ruffle his feathers, and he has no idea why. At any rate, if you guys would like to hear a radio show that I do every week, it is over at www.sky106.net. Check out our website up there. I don't need to mention MSN as it's dying anyway. And you can also find out about us on Twitter. And if you think you have what it takes to become a DJ, you can fill out the application. You can also send us feedback. Once again, the website is www.sky106.net. And you don't just check me out, folks. Check everybody else out that's up there. We would certainly appreciate your feedback. And, you know, if you want to check us out, just go to our website, and there you go. Now I'm done. You can have the floor.
I don't want the floor. I'm not drunk. What? Huh? I swear, officer, I didn't drink and drive with the... Yeah. All right, so thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Night. To get in contact with us, leave feedback for the show, visit the website, geekcastradio.com. Email us, feedback@geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter. The show name there is @BeyondTheNight. Mine is TF2 and Mike. What is your Twitter?
My Twitter is TheMusicMan08.
All right. Become a fan over on Facebook. Facebook.com/GeekCastRadio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Night and wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing 3 more episodes from Knight Rider Classic Season 3. Those being the 19th hole. Well, that must be a really holy woman.
Oh! Hallelujah.
Knight and Knerd. Knight and Nerd, oh god. And 10-Wheel Trouble. What's Miss Piggy doing in a Knight Rider episode?
Another trucking episode.
God, yes. Another trucking episode. Fucking trucker episode. For now, I am TF2 and Michael with
The Music Man 08.
KITT, close the show.
Thank goodness Wilton Knight isn't here to see this sacrilege.